results which are like, well, maybe you shouldn't have lost to these guys. But, he's growing as a player, he's getting there, he's becoming more consistent. And I think that's one of the main things to point out. He's getting more consistent day by day by day. So let's see what happens as we have to the bottom left-hand side of the map our pink Zerg player from True Esports. It is Reynor. And he's going up against the red Terran player at the bottom right-hand side. It is going to be Bunny from Korea. So we're going to see how he can do here today in the SGL Cup number 5. $600 on the line here today. I think it's, I can't even remember how it's, is it 300, 150 or something? No, it's 400, 150, 50. So third place, fourth place get $50. Second place, $100. First place, $400. These, the Chinese Cups, they do like their prize-heavy money. It's the same in the Lei Feng Cup. They have $1,400 for first, and then just a little bit of a jump down to $400 for second. It's just a little bit of a difference there. Anyways, hope you're all doing well in the chat. Do let me know what's up. No delay today, which means that we can talk to you guys a little bit more easily than usual, which is fantastic, of course. Do like it when we can talk to you guys nice and easily. So do let me know what's up. Let me know who you may be cheering on. Let me know how your days are. Is anyone doing anything exciting this weekend, perhaps? Has anyone had an exciting week? Let me know. Would love to hear what's up with you all as we jump into this first game of our second best of 3 of the day. As we're going to be seeing a bit of an interesting opening right from the get-go from Bunny. He's going to go for a gasless 1 Rax FE. So this is very different to what you usually see. He'll now go double gas. And it is very different. Like, you look at this and, he's going to get a Marine out, 2 Marines out early. His double gas is coming down. It's very strange if you kind of really just sit back and think about it and look at it. When was the last time you guys saw 1 Rax FE off of no gas? I don't even think I can recall it, because nowadays it's just so much more beneficial to come in and to really, go for a Reaper expand or go for a Reactor expand. It doesn't slow you down that much, but it puts, but it still gets you the CC kind of in early and just gives you more advantages, whether it's 2 Marines being made at a time, whether it's the Reaper to scout with early on. So this is an interesting start out of Bunny here. In the first few minutes of the game, we're going to be seeing this SEV just going up to the top left side and still just scouting around, trying to keep an eye on the third base. Reynor's actually pulled out a gas after 100, so he's going to go for ling speed and not much else. And you'll use those lings, I imagine, to clean up this third and to actually take that third base fairly quickly. I mean, what else are you going to do with that many minerals in the early stages of the game if you're not mining more gas? And I'll take a third base is going to be the answers. Bunny, though, has an SCV there, so the drone has to pull away. A few lings were on the way through the bottom side of the map. Some will continue, the others will come back to get rid of this SCV. However, look at that. A depot comes down as well to block here. So, depot coming down to block, and that will actually slow Bunny down, slow Reynor down quite a bit, because these lings aren't going to do anything across the map with the bunker up there, Marines inside, and, well, it's just going to be less DPS he has on this depot. So this is going to work out nicely for Bunny. What was meant to be a 245 third base is now a 315 and counting. 320 in a moment or so as well. Very, very delayed. 30 plus seconds. And that's exactly the sort of position Bunny wants to put himself in early. Slowing down the Zerg as he goes. Slowing down the Zerg from what they want to do. And Reynor just going to have to kind of find a way to deal with that. Drawing up a little bit more. Another Queen on the way out. I mean, this is gasless, so you'd imagine. Or not gasless, but 100 gas, then pull out of gas. So you'd imagine he'll have a lot of Queens here. Although, only making 1 more at the moment. We'll see how many he wants to go up to as time passes by. A couple of Hellions on the way out of the factory now then. So as we have 2 Hellions out in the low ground already, 2 more will join them very, very soon. I'm just going to be seeing about 4 Hellions going across the map in the next few moments as this Reaper? This Overlord comes in towards the main base. Has a little bit of a scout. We'll actually see the untech lab starport, or the unreacted starport and racks. So you'll actually know that this is probably going to be somewhat of a helipad attack here, because when you see Marines just producing without an add-on, well, and unreacted Hellions and the unreacted starport, I mean, it's just bound to be a medevac. It's bound to be helipads, because what else could it really be? I don't know if you actually saw the armory. No, that's all the way over to this right-hand side. But again, I feel he should have seen enough here anyways to kind of figure out what is going on in the early stages. A few lings going to be positioned over to the right-hand side as, here we go, Hellions coming through the bottom side with this medevac of Marines as well. Going to be coming through this bottom side, and it's not going to set up on the other side. I mean, look at this though. Bayonet is on the way down. 4 Queens are coming into play here from Reynor, and going to get ready to start targeting down that medevac especially. It's going to be super important. If you get rid of the medevac, these units do not last anywhere near as much at the front anymore. So let's see if he can do that, as we actually see 6 lings going down to the SCVs, going down to the counter attack of lings. Really nice. He's going to try and get 1 more. He's just going to get 7. As we're going to be seeing over this side of the map, well, Medevac has picked up, got away already. We're going to see a few Banes ready to go as well, though, and here we go. The Medevac getting a lot of damage onto it. Nice little bit of engagement from Reynor. Good Baneling connections as well. These Hellbats are not being healed, so they will go down. What a hold by Reynor. Absolutely monster defense. While killing 7 SCVs at the same time, Reynor's going to put himself in a crazy good position here in the early stages of game number 1. I mean, we're just talking about the fact that he completely shut this down, took no damage. I mean, he had to morph in some Banelings. That's pretty much the damage he took. The fact he had to morph in Banes, like, wow, that isn't really too substantial. You're going to see some creep coming down here now from Reynor as well. But man, that was actually crazy. That was genuinely quite crazy, as we're going to be seeing this Spower coming up at the front from Reynor as well. Ling's once again going to try and move on through in towards the natural expansion. Not quite going to happen though. I'm just going to be sitting to the side and waiting for another opportunity to arise. The follow-up from this from Bunny, as we see double engineering bay coming down for the stim pack, is obviously going to be that bio play. I mean, do we have a third CC? Yes, it's in the wall. So 3 CC. Obviously not super fast 3 CC, but getting there anyways, and now going up to 5 racks. So he's going to get into his mid-game infrastructure. Question is, can he do something with this mid-game infrastructure to really push himself into a victory now? I don't know if he really can, because we sort of look at this and, well, yeah, I sort of look at this, I'm like, well, you know what? Bunny is in a little bit of a difficult position. After doing absolutely nothing with the Hellbat attack, after losing workers early, this is really, really difficult for him. So, I'm not sure what direction we take this in now, as we're going to see these Lingers coming through the south side. Looking to maybe set up once again, moving forwards, to try and just get a little bit more damage done. A few Hellbats out the front as well, and we are just going to be seeing those few Zerglings on the way up from Reynor. So a few Lingers just on the way up from Reynor here. Newtized Carapace about to pop up as well. Pretty much, you know, little bits and pieces just all coming out. Nothing really too surprising at any point. There's a lot of these Lingers going to come up to the top side and, again, just have a little bit of a look to see what they can get up to. Infestation Pit coming down to the left as well. It's about halfway done. As these Zerglings going to come through the top side. And, again, just look to see what they can get up to over the next few moments. Run on in towards this third base, perhaps. And just try and pick off a few more SCVs. So running on in, going to be getting rid of a few SCVs here. And it's again just nice little bit of a run by Reynor. It's how he loves to play. He loves to play aggressively. He loves to be counterattacking all of the time. Super fast player, always kind of on top of his run bys as well. You know, you'll never see him kind of let a run by run into a base and just run into a bunker and die. He'll always pull it back. He'll always be aware that it's about to attack, and he should pay attention to it to make sure that he's going to get the most out of it. I think it's just going to reposition again, and it's actually going to be back towards this third. Yeah, I think this is engageable. I mean, 2 Hellbats aren't that scary to these Zerglings. They actually spent a lot of time wrapping around the Marines instead, which I feel if you get rid of the Hellbats first is a bit better. Anyways, he's got more Lings coming in anyway, so going to keep on shutting down reinforcements. The SCVs are pulled in as well. It's more damage being done to Bunny, and Bunny just cannot keep up with this at this point, as he is going to back away once again. These Zerglings staying alive. Another scan coming down as well. And it's just Bunny keeping an eye out to just see what exactly is Reynor getting up to here. What exactly is he doing at this stage of the game? Hive is on the way up as well from Reynor. Spy coming down too. He's getting ready for that later game transition. As these Marines and Hellbats going to force the Lings away once again in towards the third base, and well, even maybe further out. And he's just continuing to sort of stim forwards and look to see what else is going on. Still a fair few Marines over here and a couple of Hellbats as well, just moving around, and again, just so many of these things looking to see what's up and what's going on. Moving forward, still just trying to get us around on some of these Marines. It's still nice though, right? I mean, he's still just out in position, and still, look at this. I mean, down to the south side, natural. Try and attack again. Yes, the Deepers get raised, but he picks off a few Marines, forces them to lift up, and he's still just completely all over the place. While he's gone into this Hive tech, Ultra Cavern drops down, he's got the Spire already, he's got everything he needs to just continue this game. He never bothered with anything like Mutalisks or anything, because what was the need? I mean, he never even bothered with more Banelings. Past the first, like, 5 Banelings, he's not made enough anything other than Lings and Drones and Queens so far, so it really is quite insane. And it's all just because he had an advantage early, and he's using these Zerglings so well to maintain his advantage and maintain the pressure on the map. Bunny's not had a chance to attack, so, you know, if he hasn't had a chance to attack, why would Reynor have had to make any Zergling, any Banelings or anything? As we're going to be seeing these few Lingers up the top side once again, wrapping around. Full wall off here, which is something I think you just definitely need against Reynor, but now he's going to start morphing in some Banelings, so that's a bit of a nuisance as well. I mean, all of a sudden some Banes start to come into play, and they bust down the wall, and the Lings get access again. They are going to be found, though, so that is a good little bit of a pre-warning here. There's actually all of those Banes going to cancel. and just become Lings once more. So that dream's a little bit dead. As finally we see Banes coming in from Reynor, the massive Ling Bane getting ready to hold this attack off. 2 Ultras on the way behind us as well. I'm not too sure about this for Bunny though. I mean, I like the idea of getting aggressive, but he's going to be attacking into better upgrades for the next 20 seconds or so until his own upgrades finish. In fact, his +2 armor is a long way away. So I don't see him getting a good fight at all in the near future. 2 Ultras on the way up as well, so even if he doesn't take a good fight now, then he's not going to take a good fight in a couple of minutes when Ultras are out as well. It's so tough. I mean, I just don't know where he goes. I think stuff like drop play, etc. might be the way to go. I mean, yeah, there's some static defense here, but there's definitely locations you can drop in this main base. You can drop to the top side and run on in and just try and catch Reynor a little bit off guard. Yeah, the guy's fast. Yeah, he's kind of playing super quickly with all these Lings around the map, but if you don't even try to find those opportunities, how do you know that you're not going to out-multitask him? Here we go. Bane has started roll on forwards. It's a little bit of a connection. Actually going to be Reynor, the player who decides to back away from this. And why not? He's got Ultras coming out of Chitinous Plate in just a few moments. The longer he waits, the better it gets for Reynor. Or, you know, he could just go counter-attack again. I mean, that works. It's been working all game long. He's going to split a feelings off to fight against the Marines coming back. There's no medevacs overhead, so these Marines and Marauders go down so quickly with the no +2 armor. And that is just absolutely insane. The Adrenal Glands destroying everything over here. At the same time now, Lings, Banes, and Ultras chasing the main army through the center. That will be GG called. Reynor is going to take game number 1 against Bunny. This is going to go. That's the top right-hand side. Our blue Zerg player from True Esports. It's Reynor. His opponent down to the bottom right is going to be the purple Terran player. Let's see if he can bounce back. It is Bunny. He gets the vertical spawns, which I do feel are some of the better spawns for a Terran player. Between vertical and horizontal, it's very preferential in terms of how you want to play. I mean, some players feel as though in vertical, like, you can sort of get up to 4 bases because this base is a bit easier to hold, but then this attack pathway is very easy to attack. But they prefer it over the horizontal pushing in over here. Some people just prefer the horizontal just to try and actually get a 4th base down here, thinking that that is, you know, while it's not in the best locations, it's still a takeable 4th base. It's just not easy to take. So it's a bit of a discussed kind of point. Vertical or horizontal, which do you prefer? I mean, I think Bunny will be happy with either of them, honestly. I mean, if it's not cross, a Terran player should be smiling in this game, so it's pretty neat. Just set up into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Again, guy, what's up in the chat? Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're all having a good time. Hope we're all doing fantastic on this Friday afternoon. Who's ready for WCS later? Who watched WCS yesterday? I'm sure some of you guys did. Let me know what you thought. If you thought anything was exciting. If you thought any of the games were extremely cool. I thought it was a very expected day. I don't think there's many upsets at all. I think it was like I had my own predictions and they all went pretty much the way I thought. I mean, yeah, I don't think there's this thing. I even think against, you know, the Snoot Drogo matchup, I even think sort of was somewhat expected based on recent performances and how well Drogo knows Snoot's style, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna be setting up into this. I'm just gonna be seeing this overload coming down to the bottom side, and well, I mean, not too much going on. It is once again a bit of a different opener. Well, no, not really. It's just the 2 racks opener. It's 2-1-1 opening here. Nothing too crazy from Bunny. As Reynor going to send a few Zerglings out here in the early stages. And people noticed most about WCS was how old Rotty looked. Poor Rotty, man. I remember him saying, I remember at WSG, he was like, whenever he first came up with like the preview camera or something, he was like, oh man, I see what you mean, guys. I just got this shot because I see what you mean. I'm looking old or something. I can't remember what it was actually. But it's so cool, man. Like, everyone have a better for a few seconds here going to be a little bit annoying. I'm going to back away. I mean, someone asked me about how Brazil was before. I haven't really talked much about how Brazil was. I actually have like vlogs and stuff to make and so on. I've got a lot of videos, but I don't actually have the I have a lot of videos, but I haven't just haven't had the time to put them together yet. That's hopefully something I can get done today. But I mean, really, like the crazy thing is, like, it was just so fun and such a good learning experience. But I think especially casting with Roddy is just like something you can, I don't know, like casting with Roddy is just pretty crazy because I mean, you think about it, like I grew up in StarCraft listening to like the Roddy beta casts and like watching them when they were casting ESL. They had like this show called It's Always Green on the other side, you know, whatever, like all of them sort of things. And when like Roddy taught Bitter how to play Protoss and Bitter taught Roy how to play Zerg and stuff, I used to watch those guys all the time. So to actually get to cast with Roddy, like, at a major event, it's like, what? It's like crazy in my mind. Such a good learning experience. I learned so much, especially because I don't co-cast a lot. Because the thing is as well though, co-casting in person with someone else and co-casting online with someone else is so different as well, because in person you can like nudge the guy, you can be like, yo, look at this, you know, you can point at the screen, you can be like, oh, look over there. You can give people like visual cues, like, and like to you, like now to kind of like, you know, take over the hype train or something. So much to learn. It was pretty crazy. So there you go, there's a few minutes of insight into my casting in Brazil. I am going to be putting the vlog up. I'm going to edit it. I really want to hope to edit it tonight, but I really want to make sure. I've got so many things to do. I've got so many things to do, but I'm just going to sit down and work all day. So, I mean, it should be good. We should get it all done. Big announcement tomorrow as well, guys, so keep your eyes open for that. I'm just going to be seeing this couple of medevacs up the right-hand side of the map. So, a couple of medevacs coming up the right-hand side, looking to see what's going on in the early stages. So we expect this sort of attack at this point for the 2-1-1 opening. It's been a fairly standard opening. We see melee upgrades coming in from Reynor as well. He's actually going to counter-attack again. He's going to get in! Oh, slips away from the Widowmine. Does the depot go up now? It does! So the Widowmine sort of saves the day there. Reynor could argue that he sort of messed up the micro a bit there. He could have left like a single circling on the depot just to let it kind of stay down. Now we're going to see this Marine Force in a bit of an awkward position to fight in. I mean, the spoil will go down so the medevacs can stick around a bit more easily. I mean, there comes the Queens, though. He's going to stim forwards onto the Queens. I mean, he'll stick around here. I don't like, actually. I mean, the medevacs are going to get taken down. When the medevacs go down, I mean, it's still a decent trade, but you're going to lose absolutely everything. You're just going to be seeing all of those Marines falling. I don't like it. I feel as though, yeah, you can see resources lost favors the Zerg, so it's one of those situations where it's a great position, but it doesn't matter if you don't have medevacs to heal, because then, you know, the Marines are still just dying, albeit a little bit more slowly than usual, but they're still dying when there's just that many Zerglings. It's pretty crazy. You're going to be seeing these early. He's getting hit by the Widowmine. Oh, no. Well, it's another little bit of a shot that you don't really want to be taking at this sort of stage of the game. As we just continue to set up here, Sunling is going to be going up the right-hand side and looking to see what is going on. So a few things is going to sit up to the top side, and again, looking to see what's happening. Queen going to be popping down a creep tumor here. Going to see a fourth hatchery coming down as well from Reynor. I'm just going to be seeing a couple of medevacs loading up Marines and that Widowmine. So just going to be seeing these units from Bunny. Just going to be moving on out up the right-hand side of the map. I'm just going to be seeing a follow-up drop right now from Bunny. So just continuing to see what's up, as we're going to see a couple of Widowmines getting burrowed here. We're going to see this hatchery starting to fall. So hatchery going to be going down very soon. Oh, the Widowmine hurts. Do go off, kind of splashing onto some Marines there. That's not great. Some Zerglings going to come around this side as well. It's going to be a fairly decent cleanup from Reynor. If you just take a moment to sort of recap on how the game is going, well, the fourth base gets cancelled, but in general, Reynor's in a pretty good position. He's got an upgrade lead, not starting +2 melee. There it is now. He's got a very small upgrade lead then. You know, slight timing windows which you can maybe look to utilize as the game continues. Apart from that, I mean, he's just continued to tech on up. Our Terran players just setting up into free bases as well. It's a pretty even game. I love the fact that Terran takes this base here. This is what's so annoying for the Zerg, because when the Terran takes their third base here and then pushes up the right-hand side and in towards this base, it's so difficult to like deal with because they're just pushing consistently from their reinforcement point. So there's also very few locations to flank in that sort of position too. I like this little counterattack as a few Marines move out to the left side. But I mean, he's only going to get not even one worker kill. As we're going to see, the Lingers do back away up the right, and I'm just going to morph in a whole bunch of Banes over here. +2/+2 melee upgrades coming into play. Centrifugal Hook's about to finish up as well. I'm just going to be seeing the upgrades continue to roll on in, as we're going to be seeing these Widowmines connecting once again. So Widowmines connecting once more. We're just going to be seeing Marines unloading once again here. I'm just going to be seeing the Marines just getting healed on up by these couple of medevacs. So medevacs just healing up a little bit, and again, Ling's just gathering together some Banes. Actually, not that many Banes, only one of them in the army. Is there really no more? There's only one Baneling on the map. Wow. Reynor really doesn't like to make Banelings unless he really has to, right? I mean, why make those Zerglings slow and do splash damage if you want, if you don't have to? He'd much rather just run around the map with them. That said, here on Frost Vertical Spawns. He is struggling to find run-by positions. Now he'll find a bit of a chance as he moves down to the south through the center with these units. A little bit of a drop in his main base, though, and he's going to have to deal with that over the next few moments, while also dealing with a drop to the top side as well. Lots of drones are going down here. That's 8 workers killed. As we're going to be seeing these lings coming in, going to hit the third base. I mean, there's not that many units there. He probably could have fought it and just run straight into the natural. He gets up towards the main as well. There's just so many Marines around, though, and this, again, these run-bys, they're not doing as much as we saw them doing previously. Good Widow Mine connections clean up the attack at the third base. And now we see, what, 4 workers going down to the 9 going down across the map. Nice Baneling connection right into the center of those Marines. The one Baneling he made turns out to be super successful. And as we're going to be seeing these Marines just loading up, backing off again. I mean, Bunny is continuing to apply a lot of pressure. He's continuing to keep himself in a very solid position here so far. And now starting to push up through the center of the map. Bunny going into a location where he's looking to see what else he can get done. A few queens just sat towards the edge of the creep spread. We're going to see a scan coming down. Still only Zerglings. I wouldn't be surprised if Reynor just sort of died here. And he's about to be 2-2 against 2-2. So, I mean, the upgrades are even. Bunny definitely has so much potential. Just push on in and to just really end this over the next few moments. We're going to see a little bit of a stim forwards. The creep tumor goes down already. Bane's backing away. Just a few Banes back away. Marauder here just continue to work his way through this queen. And this Overseer going to take a little bit more damage. We're going to see a couple more queens going down. These and Banes continue to move on forwards. And that Widow Mine trying to see where it's going to go off on. It does end up just splashing onto the Terran units. Nice little play by Reynor, just sending a Zergling or 2 forwards at a time. Like this small little squad of Banelings as well. Trying to set up some initial Widow Mines. And here we go. Bit of a bigger fight coming on in as Reynor tries to make this defense. Is it going to happen? Well, actually, he is pushing his opponent at least off of the creep spread. He's going to force a lift there with these Banelings as well. Medevac's still trying to get rid of these Medevacs. Queen's trying to get rid of these Medevacs. And the last few Lings and Banes are going to clean up. Bunny, is he just not reinforced for a while? You know, where's the rest of his units? He's got so much supply. He's got 28 Marines. Where are they? Oh. I see. So, Bunny probably would have ended the game right then. It's just he had his rallies messed up because of his main depots being raised from earlier. So that's sort of interesting because actually we talked about that run by earlier, not really doing a lot. But it's probably actually ended up keeping Reynor alive because he forced the depots to lift, and if the depots weren't raised there, the reinforcements would have been strewn across the map, and I don't think Reynor survives at all. Now, however, he gets a chance to morph in some more Banes, he gets an Ultras carving up as well, and, well, maybe he just holds on another fight. Maybe he takes a better fight, and a couple Baneling hits may swing this back into his favour. He's definitely not winning this game, but he's definitely got the chances and the tools to turn this around in the next few moments if he can just survive another fight or so. Main base moving towards the 4th denied, also delayed, I should say, by creep spread. We're just going to be seeing a couple of Marines just going to be taking a little bit more damage here. Lings and Banes seeing what they can do. How many Widow Mines are there? There's quite a few in the back. I'm going to go off now. Actually, 3 Widow Mines for just such a few number of Zerglings. Such a good connection there in terms of Reynor as he gets ready to come forwards again. And you know what? I feel as though he pushes this back once more. The creep isn't as good as it once was, but he still has enough to work with, I feel. He's starting to work his way through the Marines. Yeah, he's going to push this back. Reinforcements are so... Well, actually, maybe reinforcements do become enough here. Bio is pretty good, man. Queens, I feel, could have maybe targeted down a couple more of these Medevacs. There's so many Queens, you should be seeing those Medevacs targeted down and dropping much faster. Because now we're going to see this 4th base going down. Okay, this is the beginning of the end from Reynor. We talked about him having to hold on against another 1 or 2 engagements if he really wanted a chance with Ultras, etc. and Adrenal Glands. But, I mean, losing your 4th base doesn't really count as holding on. And look at this, these drones, where are they going? I mean, they can't go anywhere. So they're just going to take a trip through Terran's base and, well, I mean, they can see where they can get up to. I mean, at this point, they may as well just fight some of these Marines and try and get a kill or something because they're not going to do too much else. Continue to move forwards. These Marines will stim and chase all of those down. 17, 18 workers killed and still counting as Bunny pushes these workers away. Again, they just had nowhere they could realistically go. 20 workers down. More Marines and Marauders continue to come in. A couple of Widow Mines going off. Queens being connected onto. A couple of Queens getting sniped down nice and quickly. Another Baneling shot. Oh, sorry, Widow Mine shot goes off on just a single Baneling. I was getting my units mixed up there. His Ultras are out now. Kindness plate is up. Maybe there's a chance. I refuse to say the Zerg is dead while he has Ultras and there's so few Marauders and Liberators on the map. I refuse to say it. I refuse to admit it. As we're going to be seeing these Lings just coming through the center here. We're going to be seeing a few Ultras again just sat on the upper watchtower as well. And a few Marines coming in, taking down a couple of Lings. And there's a hatchery coming down from Reynor as well. So hatchery coming down from Reynor. I was just going to be seeing these Lings coming through this south side and getting set up and ready to go. Marine's going to load up in this Medevac once more. The Marine's just going to be stimming in from Bunny and again trading quite nicely here, taking down a good chunk of Zerglings. A couple of depots will go down very shortly as well, as we see a few like this up to the top side of the map. So a few things up to the top side of the map here, and we're just going to be seeing again another scan dropping down to Infestors and Ultras coming out as well from Reynor. We're just going to be seeing these Marines just setting up over to the right hand side here, as again a whole bunch of units just gathering together from our Zerg player. Here comes this Bioforce once again out of Bunny, just pushing up through the center of the map. Looking to see what sort of location he can get into here. A little bit of a drop to the top side as well. Bunny, well, a couple of Liberators now. I'm still not convinced he quite has enough to deal with these Ultras, but I guess sheer numbers might just be kind of all it takes. It doesn't really matter if you don't quite have the correct tech structure or tech trees completely set up. I mean, he's getting there, right? I mean, he's getting Liberators and so on. He just doesn't have enough of them yet to really justify. He's going to be seeing Ultras coming on through, and just going to be seeing the scan coming down, just inspecting what the army looks like. A couple of Infestors mixed in there as well. I mean, yeah, you have such a good grease where so little creep for the Zerg to work with. Gets rid of a Queen. I love this. Just a few more Royals stimming ahead. Gonna get a few shots off onto Ultras. I mean, the Queens here will transfuse the Ultras up, so they will survive for a little while, but I'm not convinced that he can really win this fight at all. Here we go. Reynor starts to attack on in. I mean, the Ultras going to start making pretty good progress forwards, but then the Queen's a little bit out of position, and so the Ultras have to pull on back. They get transfused up. There's just so much bio, you know, and I think it's exactly what we sort of talked about. This bio can trade very well, and actually the upgrades as well do come into effect also. +3 attack against just +2 carapace means that these Ultras still do take a fairly reasonable amount of damage. And you can see it here, these Ultras, they are dying, they are taking damage, they are dropping. And as they keep on chasing this Bioforce, they will go down, and that really is the last chances of Reynor here in game number 2. So from a 1-0 advantage, it will be 1-1, and we'll be going into game number 3. Will it be Reynor or Bunny to advance to play against Creator in the semi-finals here today of the SGL Cup number 5. Simming forwards, another Queen going down, another couple of Ultras probably going to go down as well. Lingers continue to chase on through as these Ultras, I mean, they go down, and that is game pretty much right there. GG is called. Bunny takes game 2, ties it up, takes him 16 minutes though. I do feel he should have won about 5 minutes ago. Introduce our players, as we do have down to the bottom right side of the map our blue Zerg player from True Esports. It is Reynor going up here against the red Terran player to the top left hand side. It is Bunny. So setting up into this third game now. Frozen Templars our map, and let's see what the players will opt for in the early stages as we just set up here right from the get-go at the front with a wall off. Let's see. Gas first, racks first, racks first it is from Bunny. No real surprise here. We have seen him open that gasless CC earlier, but this time around he is going to be going for the racks gas, so fairly standard Reaper based play, maybe a reactor based play if he really wants to be a little bit different. I mean, he might just do the same build as last time with 2-1-1, which wouldn't be too surprising because it's a very popular way to open up in the matchup. Spawning pool first from Reynor though does enable him to go into a couple of different things. Obviously, as he puts the hatchery down, that's fairly standard, so he still gets to hatch fairly quickly, but it does mean he'll have access to some Zerglings earlier in the game than usual, and you would imagine that he might try and utilize that by pushing across the map and trying to see what he can do with a whole bunch of Zerglings early on. I mean, things like this early can be something along the lines of delaying a CC, cancelling a CC sometimes, depends how many lings he makes and how long he gets while the Reaper is out of position. 4 lings is going to come up, so he's really just looking to delay this CC initially and to stop it from building for just a little while. As we're just going to be seeing the Reaper on the way out right now in the early stages. So Reaper on the way up, and be moving down to the bottom right over the next few moments. So your command center coming down from Bunny, and Orbital in the main base is just going to be finishing up here. Mule drops down into the main mineral line as well, and just continue to set up into this. So nothing too crazy just yet. Waiting to see how this develops, especially with these first few Zerglings coming through the center of the map. In fact, so I imagine what you'll do is hide them to the side while the Reaper runs by, and then he will continue to move them up, and that's exactly what he's going to do. So just staying out of range of the Reaper so that the Reaper does not see them. But it also means he gets across the map ASAP with these Zerglings without having to go the long way around to avoid that Reaper. So this is nice, going to work out well. And as Bunny comes in, does not recognize that this is pull first. Apparently not, because otherwise the Reaper would be coming back home. This first Zergling is going to get... Oh, it's not first Zergling, first Marine going to get attacked. Will go down. He could kill the reactor. He could cancel the factory. There's a lot of good damage already here. You think, yeah, the reactor is probably one of the better things he can kill because it can't be repaired, the reactor, while it's still building. So the reactor is going to go down. And that is annoying because it is going to slow down the entire of the build order here for his opponents. We're going to see is another cancel going to come down. It's so low. No way, the reactor survives there. It was so low, probably like 2 or 3 health at one point. Just about able to survive. But I would say that's good. I mean, he didn't delay the CC, but delaying the reactor definitely hurts other aspects of the build order. You know, instead of reactor Hellions coming up right now, we're only going to see 1 Hellion, and it just slows the Terran player down in general in terms of what he has and how he can utilize those units. Third CC coming up very early, so you're actually stuck on 1 gas here, Bunny, as he just goes up into a very fast third command center. So, a little big read from our Terran player here as we continue now into this final game in the series. I mean, the greedy builds have taken a bit of a kind of, you know, we haven't seen them as much lately because I think a lot of players are like, well, as soon as it gets scouted, the guy just goes for a big Roach Ravager attack with +1 attack or something, and he just wins the game. And it's very true. It's an opening which does leave you very vulnerable, and especially nowadays more so than ever before, there is a lot of attacks the Zerg can do which can just hit very strongly and really just push you away. And you know, 1 or 2 tanks, you know, 1 tank is not quite enough to defend it. So 3cc is not something we see all the time, but it's something we'll see here from Bunny. He has on 2 more racks behind us as well. And, you know, that's kind of why the Hellions are important for him too, because he wants these Hellions up to maintain map control and just defend against Zerglings early on in the early stages. We're going to be seeing this factory just move off the reactor, going to start building another reactor of its own, and a barracks will build on the reactor that was initially on the factory. So a little bit of a swap around there as Bunny can have just a little bit of lag, and hopefully we... both players are going to have a little bit of lag, so hopefully going to get that fixed up in a moment or two. Move for TT, and we just, obviously we're in replays, so it doesn't really matter for us. It's going to be continuous no matter what, whether they pause, but still a little bit annoying for them, as we're going to see these 2 engineering bases just on the way up, about halfway done. I'm just going to be seeing the creep pushing on out in towards the center of the map, and I mean, just Reynor setting up in towards the 3rd base, so nothing really too surprising just yet. A few Spore Crawlers on the way down as a Roach Roam comes up too. Are we going to see Roach-based play from Reynor then? I mean, he is really kind of this player who, more often than not, plays the kind of Ling counter-attack styles, the Ling heavy styles. So, to kind of go Roaches and missile attacks would be very kind of off-target for Reynor. You know, it's very kind of something he doesn't do very often. He is going to start melee upgrades. So, may want to play kind of Ling Ravager rather than Ling Bane, and take that as kind of a way of going to nice fast ultralists in this game as well. And as we're going to be seeing, again, just a few units gathering up together. There's the command center dropping down into the 3rd base. And those few Zerglings just setting off over to the right hand side. A couple more racks going to be finishing, and I mean, the infrastructure here for Bunny is good for the mid game now. So he's just setting up with a couple more add-ons, and those extra couple of reactors will just make sure he has more than enough to play the mid game with us. Things looking in towards the 3rd base, but unable to do a lot. A few Roaches on the way, Lairs on the way up. And we just wait to see continue to see how the game develops. And this is going to come in, just going to be grabbing a Marine kill there, nice and quickly. A Roach, just going to push the Hellions back, and again, Ling's just running in, looking to see what's up and what's happening. You're going to see this Marine here as well from Bunny. Just moving forward, is going to start doing a little bit of damage to this Overlord. So Overlord just taking a little bit of damage right now. A few more Roaches coming in. This Queen going to drop the Creep Tumor as well. And the Roaches do just pick up a Marine kill there. So Marine going to go down again. A few more Marines just killing off an Overlord. Still just around the map, little skirmishes, but nothing too major. Now Roach speed starts to come up. That's expected here if we are going to be seeing sort of Roaches / Ravagers taking a bit of a larger role in the game. Still only seeing kind of sort of Roaches for now. It's a bit of a Ling Roach based composition. We'll see how many Ravagers he morphs in. He just doesn't have money for money Ravagers right now. His gas count very, very low. Probably needs to take kind of saturate his extra gases just to make sure he can afford those Ravagers. He morphs in 3, so that's a start to this. But I feel as though he's making maybe too many Roaches. Yeah, I don't know. He's making a lot of Roaches, and I'm not too sure about that because we have the +1 missile attack. It does take him a couple extra, an extra shot or so to get rid of a Marine. So I'm not too sure about this. Here we go, Roaches and Ravagers to try and defend this right now. Where the Ling is completely out of position. Corrosive Bars connecting. As you see a little bit of a run by in towards the 3rd base. Lings, I mean, they're trying to fight here, but the Marines and the Medivacs are pretty good. And Marines are going to win out this fight, as Marines and Marauders are winning down to the south side as well. Another Roach goes down, and Ravagers continue to be pushed away. That Queen's going to fall now as well. And it's just good damage by Bunny in the early stages to set him up to then kind of keep on doing damage as game passes by. This Ravager taking a bit more damage. He should target the Ravager. I mean, Ravagers are super expensive units. To get rid of those is really, really kind of quick and easy. When you get, once you're on top of them, they go down very fast. And they're definitely one of the most valuable units you can pick up compared to a Roach. You're going to see this Overlord going down, and I never scanned to see what's up. Going to clean out some creep spread as well. Also important to note, getting rid of the creep spread allows him to just make sure he can keep on pushing as the game continues without too much of a threat of kind of being spotted at all points in time. Without the Zerg just having as easy a time defending this. A couple of corrosive bars missed that Winter Mine now on the edge of the creep. Oh man, Reynor cannot see that. He continues to miss it, hits it once. Once is not enough against a Winter Mine though with the corosive bars. There's Reynor. So many minerals in the bank. I really feel he's messed up his kind of economy here in this game. Like, always composition, because he seems to be spending so, he seems to be wanting to make a Roach Ravager with a few lings, but he's got so many, so many minerals. So, why doesn't he, spend those minerals? Why doesn't he have more lings? Maybe he's made too many roaches. I don't know what it is exactly, but it definitely doesn't look great for him because he's just got so much money in the bank. And he's continuing to float a lot of money. He also doesn't quite have the lavas, so that's obviously a counter effect of kind of losing some of the queens around the base. And you're seeing this few Marines, Marauders, a couple of Winter Mines, and Medevac's going to start moving down the left-hand side here. So Bunny going to move down the left and see what he can get to. A few more corrosive bars coming in. The +2/+2 attacks coming now from Bunny as well. Just setting up and getting ready to go. A couple of Infestors going into play. And you'll see this hive is about 75% of the way done. Marines and Marauders is going to continue to come in. Medevacs too. And this Winter Mine also going to be coming in as well. A couple of Ravagers just going to drop down, and a couple of Bars going to get rid of a Widow Mine here. And Marines, Marauder just continue to move on forwards here and see what else is going to be going on. The Roach is coming in, just going to be trying to get rid of a Marauder there. And a few Zerg's going to wrap around from the back even. Little bits and pieces. It's actually been kind of a few moments here where Reynor has been cleaning up a lot of jobs very, very easily without any trouble at all. So actually, Reynor's having a pretty good time in the last few moments as we see more Marines and Marauders staying on in. A few Corrosive Bars going to drop on down. And there's going to be seeing this hatchery is going to be... this hatchery is going to be falling. So, hatchery going to fall, and we're just going to be seeing the Lings and Roaches again just gathering together. Marines, Marauders, Widow Mines, Medevacs still just sat between the natural and the third base, and a lot more Lings up the right hand side. So a lot more Lings up the right hand side. I'm just going to be seeing an Overseer starting to morph in now as well. I'm just intrigued. I mean, it's such a Roach Ravager heavy composition, and the melee upgrades early, it's like it sort of works, but it gives the ultras a bit of a hand. But you'd be better off, I think, getting +1 missiles and then going into +1 melee while you get +2 carapace, because the ultras really benefit the most from carapace upgrades. The ultras, they're all about staying alive forever, and that's what's really scary about ultralisks. So he could have just made, for this amount of Roaches and Ravagers, I really feel the investment into +1 missile attacks would have been so worthwhile. I've seen a few units splitting off over to the right side, Bunny pushing down the left side as well. I don't really like this at all for Reynor. I just feel as though this army of the Zerg is just going to not do enough damage. Winter Mine's going to be setting up forwards. Oh my god, huge fungal in the back of this to start. As they're going to be setting up once again. Looks as though the pause came in during that, which would have been pretty brutal as Roaches, Ravagers moving forwards once again and drop in towards the natural expansion. You're going to see another couple of fungal growths going down. Corrosive Baths continuing to connect. But I mean, look at this. The Bioforce, there's just so much of it pushing on forwards. Bio in the natural as well is just starting, continuing to trade. He actually has a medevac still full of units to unload, as he can make so much progress over this left hand side. These Infestors are going to start going down if he isn't careful. Continuing to fight against these Roaches. Again, the Roaches just don't do enough damage without any upgrades on them. Yeah, they've got carapace, but they don't have any attack upgrades. So, I mean, they eventually kill off this army, but it could have been so much faster. 2 Ravagers and a Roach left over towards the natural. That's not really enough, and so these units will continue to go down, and these bio units will continue to do a little bit more damage as well. I mean, the Corrosive Ball connects, but there's still enough to kind of pick off a few more drones. A few more units coming in, a couple of Liberators mixed in now as well. These Infestors will go down. Drones are going to be dragged in to try and fight against this Marauder and Marines, but they're just going to go down as well. Suddenly, Reynor's supply is plummeting as Runny just gets into some good positions, and I just go back to the fact that I really, from the get-go, didn't like the way that Reynor decided to play this. I didn't like his composition. It didn't make much sense to me. I feel as though, why invest into the melee upgrades if you're going to delay, not going to use anything for melee upgrades for so long? I mean, he used a few Lings, but not that many. I don't know. I mean, yeah, maybe there's kind of a plan behind it. Maybe it's just because in this game, it didn't look great at all because Bunny's kind of outplayed him or whatever, but I do feel as though it's a little bit strange, a little bit off, as we're going to be seeing these soldiers trying to move forwards once again. Roaches, or Roach in a segment, moving forwards once again, and again, just looking to see what else is going to be going on. We're seeing this hatchery going to get taken down, and just little bits and pieces we're going to be seeing. Drones continuing to pull away. Sporker are going to go down. And I mean, at this point, what else are you meant to do as Reynor? He's going to try and hang in here. Hey, he's got ultras. He said it in the last game, don't give up until the ultras fall, right? So he's going to try and stay in this. He's going to be seeing Marines continue to stim on forwards. Got more battles dropping down here. And again, just pushing on in. A few more overlords going down as well. Drone's still dropping. So much damage still being done. This Rotron going down to about half health. Marines and Roars going up to the high ground. And of course, the battle just going to split away from that. And now another stim. And just going to continue to kill off a few more units. Bits and pieces going down as Bunny just going to kill the older cover before Kindness playing. Well, that's a big denial. And that could be the game ender here. As we're going to see him still just kiting around. I mean, at this point, maybe, just maybe, Reynor can kind of clean up this army to some extent. And make life difficult. Without Kindness playing, these ultras actually take damage. Which means they actually die. Which means they're not actually that scary. As we're going to see a Corrosive Balcony next to clean up a medevac or two. But, I mean, what does it matter? More reinforcements coming through the center. Bunny has so much. He will be joining our players in the semi-finals. And he will be going up against Creator in the second semi-final of the day. We will start with the first semi-final though. That will be Blythe versus Trust. As we just watched the dying moments of Reynor here in game number 3. This is a good series by Reynor. I feel as though he definitely had moments in each of the games and little bits and pieces that just went wrong for him. Game 1 was very impressive though. I mean, all those run-bys continuously finding ways to do damage really worked out very well for him. GG's though. Bunny is going to take game 3 and he's going to move on.